she was being trafficked as a small child. She was very sexually abused as a child. And honestly, that was, in her young mind, like that was normal. That was her normal at that time. And by the time she was in fourth grade, that was her highest level of education. And she was just honestly fell through the cracks. And I'm talking about from CPS down to law enforcement, down to, in every area, the girl was let down. And we came along and just, of course, asked, like, what's going on? What's your story? And she just said, this is what I've been going through. This is kind of all I've ever known. I don't even know, what to do with all of this, but this has been my life. Like, this was the hand I was dealt. I'm like, okay, so tell us a little bit about, like leading up to, your teenage years. She said, well, I just began, doing the only thing, my mom sold me to her dope dealer. She said my mom sold me to her dope dealer when I was 13 years old. And she, my trafficker took me from state to state to state. She said I was in 3 other states and was hidden away in a hotel room. Now, granted, this was a girl that seemed normal in school, that attended a church youth group, but her mama had severe addiction problems. And, of course, no one would have ever known what this little girl was going through at home, how badly abused and sexually abused she was being. And then by the time she was 13, her mom, needed her next fix of dope and sold her to the dope man, and he took off with her. And it wasn't until she was in her 20s that we encountered her. And we're just and that's why I tell people too, because people want to say, well, I just have a heart for the kids. I want to help the children. And I get that. Don't we all? All let's help the babies, But again, we have to think about this. Like that 20-something-year-old girl, she was once a child that none of us saw, that none of us intervened for, that CPS let down, law enforcement let down, her own family let her down, and none of us saw that. Her church youth group let her, no one in her life saw and recognized what was going on because she hid it that well. And then by the time she was 13, she left the state and was trafficked in multiple states all over this country. And then finally brought here in her 20s and then was incarcerated. And that's where I met her.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's one of those things, we do have a heart for the children, obviously, but we've got to focus also on these young adults that were never rescued and helped when they were children. Mm-hmm. Because chances are, if we don't help them, they're just going to have children. And guess what? Their children are going to be in these same crappy situations, around these same crappy people, around, you know what I mean? All over. And this is what happens, I feel like, in every single city and town in America. I tell people all the time, I think that a lot of people say, oh, well, that's just an Atlanta problem. That's just a big city problem. Or even around here in Southwest Georgia, that's just an Albany problem. And I like to tell people, I'm like, some of my craziest cases are in these rural counties and cities around here. Like some of my ones that I'm like, what in the world was this, were these people thinking? Like this girl was severely trafficked and abused.
Yeah.
It's some of these outer skirts towns that you would never, one red light towns.
Yeah.
This stuff goes on there.
And those are usually the ones that have some of the